It's McGolf Fitting Friday, and you want to know why we need to get fit? Stay tuned. Welcome back to the McGolf shop, and this is McGolf's Fitting Friday. And if you end up liking the video, please just hit the like button down below and do subscribe. That way, when we do our next set, you'll know when it comes out, and you can just keep track with us the entire time throughout the year. So let's get started. Let's punch this thing in the face. Why do you need to get fit? You get beat about the head and shoulders in all the golf publications. Why do you need to get fit? Well, the bottom line is to play better golf, right? All right. But there's different levels of playing better golf. All right. So, a guy that's just getting started, it might be the best result for getting fit is being able to make better contact and breaking 110, 120, 100, okay? Now that's at the beginner golf level. And you just want to get around the course and lower number of strokes. Now let's say you break 100, you're in your 90s and getting into your 80s. You're still kind of in that area, but now you're looking at swing stuff and you want to, still hitting the ball further. When you start getting into the lower handicaps, then hitting the ball further is not necessarily your primary goal. It's hitting your clubs more precise, hitting them in the area that you want them to land, and you're doing a lot of course management along with good ball striking. So when you hear, "Oh, I'm not good enough," well, that's not true. People will gauge these the reasons why you get fit on, well, how many strokes can I save? Well, when you're a higher handicapper, there is way more room for improvement, thus you get more strokes, and everybody says, hey, that's where you can get. Okay, all true, but you got to figure out what it is for you that you're looking for to get fit and get that tackled. So as we're talking, as a higher handicap, and you've got more room for improvement in strokes, okay? That's just the nature of the game. You shoot over 100, you got a bigger room. You shoot 75, you don't have that much room for getting those strokes down. You're talking par, now you're talking 1 or 2 strokes. And that, at that level, is a huge deal. But a guy that's a lower handicapper is looking for something else than what somebody shooting 100 is. So you got to understand why you want to get fit. So, in every case, in just about every case, it's not going to be length, loft, lie, flex, or whatever. It could be something totally different from one golfer to the next. It's amazing that, the different, for every person that's out there, they have a little bit of a uniqueness to them, and everybody needs something a little bit different. So don't fall into the I hit my buddy's club and I loved it. That's because there's no consequence to you hitting that club. All right, you can hit it, you make up a nice free swing, you hit it 2 or 3 times, boom, you're there. You got to have that particular club. Well, then you buy your club, and next thing you know, you hit it, and you hit it 2 or 3 times, and then you want a little bit more out of it. And then you try and get a little bit more out of it, and it doesn't go. And then all of a sudden, that remorse starts getting in there. And that's definitely not what you want. And you're like, well, why did I do that? Because only 3 times I hit my buddy's club, it hit pretty good. And the first 2 times I hit it pretty good. And then all of a sudden the real stuff starts getting in there. Get fit first. Okay, get fit first. So, expanding on this, why do people need to get fit? Well, there's 2 big reasons. One's the mental side. The mental side. All right, well, most golfers are mental, but from the mental side. All right, so how many times have you been over top of a club, a driver, fairway wood, hybrid, iron, wedge, putter, and specifically in the putter, you're over that putt and you just know you're going to miss it. Or you're standing on a huge tee box, a big old tee box, and you pick up the fairway instead of the driver. All right, or you're in the second cut of rough right on the edge of a green, got a pretty decent putt or chip to go on, and you pick up the putter. All right, all these are big indications there's lack of confidence. All right, when you don't have confidence in your clubs, you mentally can't put a good swing on the club. And when you get this fitting and you understand why you have the club that you have, and then the fact that it's made to your specifications, your confidence grows. And then when you make that first really good contact to it, then it starts soaring, and then your swing frees up, and then now you're playing golf. Oh my goodness. All right, that's the mental side of golf. All right, so the last part of it is when you're mentally lacking confidence, the whole way that you get around the course and your course management is changed, right? If you're a guy that loves attacking a golf course and now all of a sudden you don't have confidence in one of these clubs, then what? Well, now you're short-sighting yourself, or you're putting a bad swing on it, and your whole game attitude changes, and that's not what you want. Now the second side, the physical side of it, all right, physically. Now let's say I have an ill-fitted club, right? A bunch of things can happen. One, it can cause you back pain. Two, it can cause you hand pain or grip pain, right? Three, it can cause pain in your joints, pain. That could be that way of it. Another issue is that, the obvious part of it, if it's ill-fitted, you're not making good contact. So what does that mean? Well, you don't hit the ball as far as you think you should or can, all right? Should and can, those are two different things, especially when you go through a fitting. I get plenty of folks down here. How far do you hit this club? Well, I hit it X distance. Oh, okay. And they hit it, and they hit really good shots, and they don't. All right, you got to go out there and track yourself. Those little smart game things probably be coming in handy. So you don't hit it as far. Another one is you don't hit it in the direction that you want it to go. All right, how many of you slice the ball? How many of you hook the ball? Right, and you don't know why, or you do know why, but you just can't stop it, and because the equipment's getting in the way. All right, there's tons of reasons for both of those things to happen. And that fitting could show you why. And the last one is you just don't play your best. Right? You get out there, your wedges and spinning, your putt's not going in the direction it needs to go or the distance. Same thing with drivers, irons, and all the rest of them. So making quality, good contact is very important. Okay. So what are some of the reasons why people don't go get fit? Number one, typically, and if you look at all the polls that the golf publications put out, are, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. Well, all right, so you may not hear it from very many people, but I'm going to tell you. If you're just starting out, you do not need a full fitting, all right? If you're standard height guy, say 5'11", 6 foot, right? You could go get what I call golf in a box, and it's at most of the big box stores. It's a bag, a set of clubs. All you need is you add golf balls and golf tees. You stir it up. You got golf. Okay. Now that's just to test the waters to see if and it wouldn't be something radically bad. Now let's say you're somebody at 6'4". Or even taller, or you're 5'8" and below. Well, then the golf clubs are going to be in the way. And you just need something simple to get you so where the equipment will at least work good so you can go get a lesson or go around and play and figure out what you might like, or if you even like the game or not. All right, it's the next person that's taken that step. You've played a couple rounds, man, you love this game, and you think that's going to be a hobby, because this is a game that can last you your entire career, all right, your entire career, because it sets up for when you're young, middle-aged, and you get older in order so that you can shoot those same numbers and have the same experience as taking your son or even your grandson out, all right, and that's when you really need to be fit. And then get yourself checked as you hit plateaus, or age takes over, right? You go, or a medical condition shows up, right? Right. So that's one reason. So you are never not good enough. Is that right? Never not good enough? You're always good enough to be able to go get a fitting. It just depends on what kind of fitting that you're going to get. And that's going to be a topic for the next Friday. Okay? The next Friday. All right, so that's the first one. The next one is you don't know where to go to get fit. All right, you don't know where to go to get fit. Well, a little pat on the back. All right, you can go to Golf Digest. They have the top 100 best fitters if you really want to go down that path. In addition to that, they have another 500-700 fitters that are listed in each one of the states. Certainly somebody is near you. Now, these are the people that do it for a living, and apparently they do it well based on the Golf Digest. There's two other groups out there. One is the International Club Makers Guild, and truly it should say Club Fitters Organization, and those guys are worldwide, right? Worldwide. There's, I don't know, 3,000 folks in that. I'm a part of that group too. And there's qualifications you can ask. Are you a certified club fitter? And there's another one called the AGCP, and they're out of Georgia, and you can look that up as well. And those guys are guys that do it for a living as well. So the last one is you're the researchologist. You've gone through every bit of data on the internet. You've gone to the very end of the internet on everything golf, and you've put all this data together, and you've figured out that you don't need to be fit. And okay, so I totally forgot where I was at, but we'll start anyway. The last part of getting fit, it can save you money. All right, so let's say the whole idea of the fitting, you go through it, they tell you exactly what you need, you buy it, it gets built custom for you, voila, you're done. All right, that's the straight and narrow, point A to point B. Now, you ran into a really great deal on a set of clubs. Okay, that happens here a lot. And you go through a fitting and you find out the shaft is not right for you. Well, you're replacing 2/3 of the clubs, man. So you got to weigh with that out versus the cost of the clubs. Now, if you got a really, really good deal, the change in the shafts may be an equivalent fine and okay. But if it's not, let's say you bought it, you got it for a present. Now you're investing a lot of money into a new set of shafts and grips, right? And the time to make it happen. So, yes, you can get, lie angles, lofts, check, grips redone, and come away with a really cool modded set and get away with it. But if you're one of those guys that are very particular, you're probably better off getting fit first and then having the stuff built for you. That's why you need to get fit, or some of the reasons why you could get fit, or some of the reasons why you're not getting fit. But bottom line is, just depending on what you go into that fitting for, you can always come out with the plus. And that when you get that plus, that means the scores go low, and you enjoy the game, or you're hitting the ball better. And again, the whole idea, enjoy the game. That's what I want you to do. I want you to stay in the game longer. Okay? So, if you enjoyed it, subscribe and like, please, if you would. And let's see your scores. Go low. Amazing. Right in the middle of that. Hold on. And it's Waverly City on another doggone thing. It is a telemarker. What, turd? So before I was so rudely interrupted, let me see what I'm doing here. There we go. So let's say you want to get some more benefit out of figuring out whether or not you want to get fit. Here's what I did. I went to Google and I said, why do I need to get fit? And just about every golf publication has an article from 2003 up on why you ought to get fit. Take a look. Go through it. There's some really interesting stuff, and it is still very pertinent, okay? You really want to check that out. She got louder when I started talking. Can you believe that?